Hi, Jason Knott with CE Pro, and today we are talking about the crossover commercial opportunities for integrators that we've dubbed as the Resimercial space, and how exciting and dynamic and opportunistic that is for many integrators. And with me to talk about that is David Vogel, Senior Inside Sales Manager at Environmental Lights, that has a product line that is right in the wheelhouse of this market opportunity. So thanks for joining me today, David.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
All right, let's jump right into it. Just as a background, give us a sense of an overview of the Revi Line from Environmental Lights.
Yeah, so the Revi Line is something that Environmental Lights has spent the last year plus developing and bringing to the market. It's a line of high quality, low voltage, remotely powered fixtures. They're fixtures that are powered by an intelligent DMX controlled power supply that you can actually program. And by program, what I mean is that you can actually set each individual output channel to a specific drive current on that power supply. That means you can have fixtures of various outputs, various drive currents, all tied back to this single power supply. So it's an incredibly efficient system from a SKU management standpoint. We also have a line of 3-inch fixtures that have fully modular, fully configurable a la carte components, which is, again, great for SKU management and for installation in the field.
I'm glad you talked about the power supply, because so many people focus on the fixture part of it, but that power supply is really the secret sauce that really drives the success of that Revi line.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. There's a few other people out there that have some low voltage fixtures. We believe that, humbly, we believe that we've come to line with a higher quality low voltage fixture, but that power supply is very, very unique to Environmental Lights. That level of control that you get and be able to set that drive current is a very unique value proposition that we can offer to our clients.
So we're familiar with how vital and important the Revi line can be for a residential integrator in residences. Why does it also work so well in commercial environments?
Yeah, great question. We've had a lot of success with residential, but we've also had a lot of success in the commercial spaces. There's a lot of reasons why our value proposition speaks to commercial facilities managers, business owners, people in commercial spaces. But for our sake, I'll focus on a couple. The first would be longevity. With our system, with a low voltage system, it's remotely powered. The enemy of LEDs is heat. So with a high voltage system, you're running heavy duty Romex wires with a lot of high voltage power going to junction boxes to onboard drivers that are really close to your light source. So by doing that, you're introducing a tremendous amount of heat right next to your light source, which can shorten the lifespan of your LEDs. With our system, you can have a power supply up to 200 feet away, and you're running a very minimal amount of current just on a very simple little 16-2 stranded shielded cable, very similar speaker cable that everybody's familiar with, out to your LEDs, very little heat. It's going to last for much, much longer. And that longevity is important for commercial building owners. You don't want to close off a portion of your business so you can replace a fixture. A lot of the commercial spaces we're in, you have very, very high ceilings, which means that you have to rent a scissor lift. You have to hire a crew to come out and replace the fixture. So that longevity is super important to a lot of the commercial spaces that we're in right now. The second aspect I would say is control. With our system, again, getting back to the power supply that we're talking to, you have a tremendous amount of control with that supply. You can offer, or we can offer, flicker-free dimming all the way down to 0.1%. So in areas where you want to really set the mood and lower the lighting levels, we can do that, in restaurants or churches, various different commercial spaces. And also, again, the programmable drive current really, really is important to a lot of our customers.
Yeah, fantastic. So when we talk about the commercial space and commercial market, what are some of the key verticals where lighting applications like Revi can be used so well as a solution?
Yeah, there's been a lot. We evaluated and we identified a few key markets prior to launching Revi, but what's exciting is that there have been so many new ones that are popping up as we go. We identified houses of worship, churches, things of that nature, been very popular there. We have some very high output fixtures, so even if you have a very high ceiling, we can absolutely fill that space with an adequate amount of light. Hospitality industry, so restaurants, hotel lobbies, things of that nature. But we're also seeing things like gymnasiums, because our lights are DMX controllable. You can create some very cool chasing effects, sparkling effects. I mean, all sorts of really cool things. And the other thing we're finding is that people are coming back from working from home. They're going back to corporate or business spaces. The Resimercial trend has been huge, where people are trying to introduce more of a residential, more of a homey feel into your place of business. A lot of times lighting in place of business get us a really bad rap. You get fluorescent tubes that are flickering. They're very unappealing. And with the Revi Line, we're starting to introduce these to corporate spaces. We have much softer, much higher CRI, very nice dimming to low levels. It's a very homey sort of feel in a corporate space. So we've had a lot of success there as well.
What are some tips that you would recommend that integrators can use when they're speaking to general contractors or commercial facilities managers about an all-in-one AV or an all-in-one lighting solution, or being that go-to AV and lighting contractor? And is it a different conversation than they might have on the residential space?
It's slightly different, but it's a very similar conversation. People really like having one point of accountability. We find that a lot of these job sites, especially the commercial job sites where you have so many different cooks in the kitchen, it almost turns into like a game of telephone where you've got the facilities manager, you've got the GC, you've got the electrician, and then the electrician's buying some fixtures that he got it from electrical distributor. And then you've got the integrator that's hired to come in and kind of piece everything together. And if something does go wrong, if you have issues with flickering or light performance or failures, you've got a lot of finger pointing going on saying, oh, the electrician purchased this, well, the integrator programmed it this way. And for an integrator to come to a commercial facilities manager or general contractor and say, look, I can come to you with a high quality, top-notch, low voltage system. I'll control everything. I'll program everything. It's going to last for a very long time. I'm your guy, is a huge value proposition for an integrator to a commercial facilities manager or another player in the ecosystem. And we've had a lot of success with that value proposition.
We know one of the keys to success in the custom installation market is really providing top-notch service to the integrators. Tell us what Environmental Lights is doing.
Yeah, Jason, that's a great question. Environmental Lights, we really were founded on the principles of service, of going above and beyond and being partnered with our clients every step of the way. We're there with our integrators from design to delivery of product to installation, really every step of the way we're invested with you. We have a full team of sales engineers, systems engineers, product engineers that, again, we're just invested with our partners, our clients, every step of the way. The last thing I want to mention is we do offer some design services. So if you come to us with a drawing or a rendering of a space, we can provide you with the exact foot candles, the layout of the light, so you're confident that you have adequate amount of light throughout the space. And that's something that we can provide for our partners.
That's great advice for integrators out there as they keep pursuing this crossover opportunity. And again, the commercial market took a hit in 2020, but as the market starts to come back and people are returning to the offices and other venues, I think there's a big opportunity for integrators. So David Vogel, thanks for joining CE Pro today.
Thank you, Jason.